Add 2. Yes, 6 and almost 4.
Oh, big baby.
Yeah, they are little. Do you get to go back home much?
Actually, I'm going back for Easter, so
Okay.
that'll be nice.
That's
But yeah, I
awesome.
went back at Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. You just go
Yeah.
from here to Atlanta and Atlanta to Virginia.
Speaking of which, my family's supposed to be moving back this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm just happy to see my mom again now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they moving from?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Look, there goes her head.
Whoa.
Hello. Rod, I don't think I've ever seen you in anything but like a suit and
Spring break?
Oh, that's because it's spring break. That's spring break. Oh, how's everybody?
Good.
I'm alive.
Good, 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 yeah. Did you say something?
James.
James.
I ain't gonna lie, I was crushed last week.
What?
I was crushed last week when I came up here about this time.
Oh, did you not get the email about?
No, yeah, I got it, but I didn't read it until it was too late.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hello.
How's it going?
Assuming we're gonna be looking at the screen for.
Oh, yeah, Amanda's going to be joining us.
You don't want to sit with your back to the screen?
No, I'd be like, right, that looks good, yeah.
I thought I recognized that name.
So we're doing letters of support for the
I read the
Conway
paper quite
project. If you want to read
Do what?
something
So I read the
executive
paper
summary
quite
about it. I'm
often.
guessing you probably have already heard about the new trail that we're building, but we're just giving those to all the boards to sign.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's got a little more info
I used to
here.
be with Blackbird a lot, so.
So we're not
I have
asking
stuff
for
in
any
there all the
funds or
time.
anything from y'all, just to say.
No,
that
no,
you
no,
would
this is for a
support
different
this, and
reason,
it'll
though.
hopefully be an avenue for more
This
public
particular
art to
one,
go
I know who
along
you
the
are,
trail.
but I'm just saying this particular one was talking about
I mean,
hurricane or
fingers
something.
crossed.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yes, yes. Very recent.
Yeah, I take every now and then I look at Newsbreak.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was in there.
Good to know.
I was like, where have I seen that name?
We are
Like,
indeed
oh,
indefinitely live.
Okay, so red means,
Yeah,
it still confuses me because I feel like green means go. And red means
record.
stop, so every time, it's me.
Yeah, red is recording television.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, any that signifies lets you know that which camera is hot.
Gotcha, okay, it's fine. Thank you.
Hola, Kia.
Can you see us? Can you hear us?
Sorry, do you have it handy?
I saved it in my pictures. So
Can you
that
hear us and see us?
I can put it in the picture.
maybe no.
Maybe not.
I'll send you.
Would be a no.
2-6 or
Two copies of the agenda. That's all the agenda. Get a new agenda.
Hey, you can't see your Pierce, can you?
Yeah,
Just
I
a
should put it on my
second.
phone. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll just text you the picture.
Well, we can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna read the our team's mark.
Okay, here we go.
I have like an info folder and photos.
One, yes, sir,
So
thank you.
things that I need to remember.
No, I don't think it's, I
Easy.
don't think it's used.
Should be.
If you can't, I mean, if you can't see
And
us, we had this
count? Oh, yeah,
issue
that's right.
earlier today. A different one. So.
So you have to put in your
I'm gonna read
photos?
it real quick.
Look, are we doing it?
Oh, that's pretty. Much more modern now. Love it. Yes.
Well, while we're figuring out tech issues, hello everyone.
No.
We're all here except for Merritt, so that's great. Go ahead and call us to order so we can go ahead and get started. First order of business is you all have a copy of our minutes from February. This is March. Our meeting minutes from February. Do we have a motion to approve or anything that we need to correct for those?
Motion to approve them.
Second.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sweet. All right, minutes are approved. We are called to order. First order of business is we're going to be looking at our public art master plan review. So we had some things to look at in regards to maybe the new ordinance. Seeing some nods from our friends in the city, as well as some of the, specifically, I know we're going to look at the mural guidelines as well, but we'll see. Depends on if Amanda can hear us and we can hear Amanda.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can!
we can.
Yay, I cannot see you guys, but I can hear you,
Oh, well, you're not missing anything.
which is not that important. Yay, I can see you and hear you.
Crazy.
Awesome.
All right, well, we've called to order and we've taken care of our perfunctory approval of last meeting's minutes, so we turn the floor over to you.
Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. How is everyone?
Great. Wait, are we there or are we?
She's up there.
She's up there. Okay.
The public.
The public is there, she's there. So we've got a camera looking at a camera.
Okay, let me, for some reason, it's talking to me about a share tray.
They've implemented several things and Teams has gotten progressively complicated.
So I presume I must not have sharing capabilities.
All right, good meeting, everybody.
So, let me see how we might be able to. Yeah, because when I open the share tray, there's nothing in the share tray. While we're working on that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about today before my presentation can be put up. Can you guys hear me okay still?
Great.
Good.
Okay. All right. So while we're figuring that out, and James, I sent you the presentation in an email, so maybe if we can't get the sharing capabilities to work, then you could just pull the presentation up. But we have nearly completed the draft public art master plan, and we are really excited because staff has reviewed the document, leadership has reviewed the document, and now today we're kind of here wanting to share with you some of the items that we believe we need significant input on from you all before we go to the last steering committee meeting. So James, I just got a notification that says I'm an attendee and won't be able to share content or facilitate.
Well, I was trying to upgrade you.
Okay.
You went the wrong way, man. The wrong way.
I got demoted.
Now it says now you're a presenter.
Okay. My share tray is still empty. I wonder if I have to rejoin.
It still says guest on the screen, so,
Oh, yeah, so has her
Well,
listed.
I think that's just because she's external.
gotcha, okay.
Yeah, the share tray hasn't changed. There's nothing on there.
I'll go get my computer.
No, I didn't see that yet.
Okay. While James is doing that, as I was saying, one of the items that you'll remember discussing was the vision. And we did have a quite lengthy discussion about that vision. And I think that we left our last meeting feeling really confident in that. After we shared the draft plan with staff and with leadership, they all felt like the vision was kind of generic. And as we began to flesh out some of the projects and programs, as well as the recommendations for the master plan, we began to also feel the same thing, that the vision was very generic and we wanted to update it with you all. I'm so sorry, I'm getting all of the notifications. Bad network.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Technology.
You're coming in clear.
You look fabulous on
Yeah,
screen.
you look great. You shouldn't be afraid to share with
I
us.
wouldn't change a thing.
So how about, do you all have a pen and paper? It looks like
Yes.
I'm going to read this document or read the vision statement because you can't see my presentation. And then I would like for us all to think about how we can make it tighter and more representative of who Conway is. So our current vision statement that we all agreed on the last time we met was the Conway Public Art Program is dedicated to inspiring a deep connection to Conway through presenting a wide variety of high quality public art from artists with various experience levels that is inclusive of all people and backgrounds.
Okay, who was
What
able
with
to?
all people and backgrounds, or what was the word all?
Of all people and backgrounds.
If you wanna, can you email that to me real quick? No.
Yeah.
Or just drop it in the chat rather, I guess.
Okay.
I think I wasn't here for that, because I
don't remember that at all.
I hate that statement.
I do too.
Well, I'm glad you all hate it, but we're gonna make what you want. Okay.
I don't know what a deep
There's
connection, what's a deep connection to Conway? I don't know what that means. That I'm gonna only purchase products in Conway, or I have to think Conway's better than other cities, or, you know, I mean, that seems too abstract.
So for me, when I think about deep connection, I think about the places I've lived or visited that I have really special experiences in, whether it's a meaningful experience with a family member or a meaningful experience at a specific place. Like maybe I felt in awe at a location. For me, there's a lot of, like when I think about places I have a connection to, it's places that I've taken my daughter and we've had really special things happen that are really a major part of my memory.
Good.
And so when I think about those places and I think about public art and I think about, for me, it's natural places and parks. Those are the places that I have a connection to, that I'm like, oh, if I can go to fill in the blank, I'm going to go there because we had a really special experience that will, I mean, in my mind, always be part of my collective memory, even if it's not a place that I've lived.
Then we could say meaningful. I don't know.
So-
Enjoyable.
My question is there a mission statement as well? Or is the vision kind of being all inclusive? Because that makes a difference to me how we word those.
There is not a mission statement. We have developed 3 core values, so perhaps that would inform those as well. And those are in the presentation that James, I hope, is going to be able to pull up. So maybe if we think about how these 3 core values are supporting what our eventual vision will be, then we can really develop this vision statement that is something that the city's really going to work toward. And the whole point of creating a vision statement, both for the program and also for the plan and for the city, is really to always have something to kind of connect back to and say, like, okay, is this really supporting our vision to have, some communities are like, we want nationally renowned artists, and we want people to drive here, come here, travel here to see all the artists' work that we are collecting. We want to, have a really high quality collection. Some people are like, we want to have really fabulous murals and everything is pedestrian scale, nothing is by car. So it's really about creating that for Conway as well.
I think these are good. I don't remember these either, but I think that first one especially, that's what it was. Unique to the history, natural setting, youthful. I think I'm still youthful, so I don't. But yeah, but specific to Conway and Conway's place in history and its setting and whatever.
So are we diametrically opposed to having a mission? I mean, I know we're not an organization. We are, putting forward this 2020. I'm so used to vision and mission being paired together, or at least because there are, Conway Public Art Program is dedicated to, seems more along the line of that mission statement, whereas in most of the work I've done with folks, that vision statement piece comes in here's the future we envision, or here's the state we envision that our mission is working us towards. And so having the two, I think,
I would say, one thing I would say, mission, that's the ordinance.
Right. Okay. Then maybe we can, I don't know.
You're saying it's like our goal.
Yeah, our vision is
our vision.
True to vision. Our vision. We envision a
to.
Conway that, has some of these elements in there, or supports the, Celebrate Conway supports artists and builds community.
Yeah, because I agree with Peyton. Like,
Mix.
what we're calling a vision statement right now looks more like a mission statement to me, which is fine. I just, again, it could be confusing if we don't have both. I don't know.
Okay.
Can we?
Well, why don't we talk about the thing? Oh, go ahead, James.
No, that's Ron.
I'll take that as a compliment. Can we reference something in the mission statement about the core values? Our mission statement is, our vision is for this about Conway by following our core values. Because most of that is what's in this first statement, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she's fast.
Other way. There you go.
There we go.
It wasn't letting me go backwards. I don't know why.
Okay.
Our vision
Cool.
is.
So what do we start with? Do we want to, I don't know what comes first. I don't personally know the difference between vision and mission, but I trust y'all. And so what comes first? What do we start with?
Usually mission is your purpose and vision is your future,
All right,
like what you aim to achieve.
Yeah.
let's do a mission. What is it?
Mission or vision.
I would say that's that's definitely in the ordinance.
Well, do you have the ordinance by chance?
We've got it, yeah.
Okay, I'm saying, can we look at it to see?
Is that later on in this?
I didn't put the ordinance in here. I just talked about the changes to kind of the structure and program management. I was going to pull up the Drive document, which is what I was going to pull up rather than having a slide for it. But I can send you the link to that too.
And I guess by you referencing the ordinance, you mean the ordinance in its entirety? Or is there specifically I guess I'm viewing the mission statement as sort of like a thesis for the ordinance, or,
Right.
here is in brief the abstract of what we are going to do. or what we envision and hope that the Public Art Committee can be. Because I get that the ordinance will obviously spell that out in great detail, but like the Reader's Digest version.
So the vision and mission statement that you guys are talking about, I would want it to be for the public art program for the city. So you guys are a tool in which that gets done.
So it would need to be
Haven't been
different
called
than
a
that.
tool in a long time.
Yeah, 'cause I've got the
A
ordinance. pulled up on there.
pod, a spoke.
A cog.
Yeah, the ordinance has like 6 different sentences, which normally like a mission statement, and again, I agree what Amanda just said, this is more about the committee as opposed to a mission statement for the public art, which should be like 1 sentence.
James, can you go to the next slide? What's that next one?
Maybe.
Called,
I'm trying to catch up to what you asked me to do.
core values. I mean, is that not our mission? And that's sort of how we're gonna do it, right?
Your core values are what inspire your mission, I guess,
Drive it.
is the way to put it. Or your mission statement. I know it's confusing, but like
Yeah.
the mission statement is something we should all be able to quote super quick to anybody.
Yeah, it breaks down basically who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them.
Well,
and what
it
this
seems to me
product-
that's the first one, is the mission. That's what we're aiming to do. Tell stories that are unique to history, natural setting, youthful culture, if we keep that, right? And then, but aren't the next 2, that's what we're doing?
But we're not necessarily just doing the first one, because if you think about like the MLK Park, that's not natural to Conway history. I mean, did it make sense? Like, or,
No, yeah, I'm not sure that first sentence is the one we wanna keep.
gotcha, okay.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting question though. Does that count as the public art, what are we, committee? Public art committee? Since we
Well,
didn't dedicate.
if we're saying the Conway Public Art Program, which is separate from the committee,
Right, then definitely, 'cause that's public art program, part of the city's budget, yeah.
Okay, what do we need to do today, right now? The, what'd y'all call it up top?
program.
Vision statement.
Mission statement.
Visions.
Yeah, let's,
Seeks to.
So we're seeking from you to have a more specific Conway-centric vision statement. If you want to change what the current vision statement is to make it what you want, let's talk about that. Let's start there.
Okay.
And again, this is about the program, not the committee.
Any suggestions on feedback heard so far of portions we need to condense or change as a starting point?
On this?
The only feedback we've received is too generic.
Cool. Okay.
Just generic, like, oh, I don't like it.
No, yeah.
Is that what you mean?
I think people just said it was too generic, so they want to make it a little bit more specific. So,
Sorry.
so that might be, okay, so are you really focused on presenting a wide variety of high quality public art? Is that too generic? Should it be, I don't know, you want to,
Roundabouts.
do you like the program is dedicated to inspiring a deep connection?
I sure don't like that. I don't know, the rest of you, I think
I
it,
like the idea behind it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's something like improving the quality of life of the residents of Conway. I mean, we wanna make it a better city, right? So meaningful connection,
That's why I have right now, the Conway Public Art Program seeks to form meaningful connections between Conway citizens and public art.
Ooh,
I
hello.
like that.
Look at you.
good.
I like it.
Sold.
Because the rest of that comes.
Can you
Yeah, sorry,
meaningful connections between residents and public art? Is that what you said?
between Conway citizens and public art. But I don't know if that leaves out visitors, but
Yeah.
if
I
our
don't-
point is to, if we're I don't know, that does leave out
I don't-
visitors, but.
Yeah, forget visitors.
Just add, and visitors, I mean, just
Well, just,
guests,
or the public.
paying
yeah,
tourists.
the public.
So for meaningful connections between the public and public art, between
People?
Residents, it
People,
doesn't have to be
yes.
Conway residents, it could be just people,
between residents
our
and
people and
public art.
I like people, yeah.
So the Conway Public Art Program seeks to form meaningful connections between people and public art.
how is
Do you need some qualitative thing there to
Yeah, it still seems kind of
improve.
generic.
I was gonna say,
improve the
swing to a
vibrant
different.
life of the
Yeah.
city? I don't know, to improve.
Well, what does Conway specifically need from the public art program? What's our 5-year, we've implemented these guidelines, we've put that into practice. What do we need? Is it, in that near-term vision, is it more public art? Is it more art that celebrates it? Is it more awareness of the art that we have? Is it, like Amanda's pointing out, is it nationally known artists that are gonna drive tourism here? This is not gonna be etched in stone and be our forever one. It's the vision for this master plan and this program as we see it for the next 5 years. So what is that half decade Conway needs in public art?
I don't know how to do this carefully, so it's gonna sound really clunky, but I do
That's where it
think,
all starts?
well, on the one hand, I don't like the high quality public art, except I actually think that's what needs to happen. I think one of the issues has been the art has not been great. Some of it,
Gotcha.
right? Clearly the murals they're big, they make an impact because it's clear what they're about, or mostly. Dust Up, it's not clear what that's about, and it makes people frustrated and angry. So something there about quality art I think that's a big thing that needs to happen.
I like the idea of creating awareness. I think for the next 5 years, we definitely need to create some kind of awareness for what we've already done,
And
maybe. But how do you?
this is happening. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
What about, so what we just talked about was the mission, then the vision is the aim of the Conway Public Art Program is to increase the quantity, scope, and reach of public art installations and artists.
The quantity,
Scope
scope,
and reach. Because the reach covers like making it more aware of what's already here, and
What's
also,
scope? What's
and
scope
also
mean?
reaching out.
about
Just
quality,
the,
quantity, quality, and reach. Because we want good we want good stuff. I think we can talk about what we mean by high quality art. I think that's a good conversation, but I think to put a qualitative.
My only thing is, if we say to increase the quality, does that demean the art that is already here? Like if I'm an artist that has already created a mural in a building and we're saying we're trying to increase the quality of art, are we saying what we've got isn't high quality?
On the one hand, no, I think that's okay, because we always wanna aim to be better, to aim for the best. To
improve,
So Reba, it's
build upon,
to
no, build upon, I like that.
build upon,
build upon the foundation. That's getting more too wordy though.
So you're saying quantity, quality, and reach is what you would
Yeah.
say?
but you said increase, right? Increase the,
To increase the quantity, scope, and reach of public art installations and artists, or we could say and the artists that install them, or artists that create them, or artists that.
scope that might be a nice squishy word. You know what I mean? Because it kind of can mean quality, it just sort of depends what you mean by scope. But then it's also, no, scope is good. I
Scope
think
is
you're-
like,
yeah.
scope is different types of art, different.
Yeah, does it fit here, fit there, fit there?
Right.
Yeah, okay, good, keep scope.
Size and scale.
Scope's good. I don't know. Yeah,
So I think
This is your mission, I like the mission. So this is
specific
read.
to Conway, I think the colleges and the art programs that we have here are pretty unique to Conway and other, we've
that's
got 3
interesting.
colleges that have some sort of programs.
The CBC?
I don't know, surely.
Well, CBC
They got
did.
music.
I don't think they do.
They had the person that was on the captive board,
Who is?
CBC. Wow, I haven't been on the board.
Should know that.
So I've jotted down this. We envision a Conway where visitors and citizens can easily access blank, some kind of qualifier, public art, building upon our existing works to create a catalog of varied art that tells clear and engaging stories. That's just some of the stuff that we were talking about. A little clarity of what they are, things that they tell. People look at them and can go, oh, that's an art.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the story in there a
Yeah.
lot.
The story,
I do too.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it.
Can you say it again?
Can you read that again, Peyton?
Yes, we envision a Conway where visitors and citizens can easily access, insert qualifier here, public art, building upon our existing works to create a catalog of varied art's in there too many times, that tells clear and engaging stories.
I like it.
We're getting our money's worth.
Sorry.
Building upon existing works that
Create a catalog,
create a catalog.
of varied pieces that tells a clear and engaging story, or that tell clear and engaging stories.
What's that qualifier in there? Enjoyable?
Do you feel like you need a qualifier, or can it just be about easily accessing public art?
I don't think we need a
Yeah,
qualifier
yeah.
necessarily.
I guess the qualifier does come in with clear and engaging stories.
Right.
It's pretty qualified.
I also think it might be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to talk about telling inclusive stories, because
Ooh,
Yes.
Yes.
Bantered that around.
Clear and engaging, clear and,
what'd you say?
Oh, we're just mulling it over in the room.
I like that.
you're saying clear and engaging?
Mm-hmm.
So clear, engaging, and inclusive stories? Is that what you're saying, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that when we talk about municipal programs, not in Conway, I'm just talking about generally, you know, the elected officials are choosing who the stories are being told about, and they're often not inclusive of everyone's history in a community.
Right.
Well, could we replace clear with include, like, clear is a word that honestly seems a little unclear to me. But if we did inclusive and engaging
yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
I wish we could use the word intelligible.
but everyone has a different opinion about what that is.
Then that kind of becomes on us, I guess, a little bit, right? It's in the ordinance somewhere.
I hope so.
So that you feel like that's the vision,
Yes.
and then how do you all want to change this to be the mission statement?
And we have a mission.
What's our mission?
Read your mission.
The,
Oh, I thought that was.
oh, yeah, I know the Conway Public Art Program seeks to form meaningful connections between people and public art.
Okay, perfect. So you want that to be the mission.
Is that, I mean, is everyone good with that?
Yeah. I
Because
like
I
that.
guess-
I think-
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Sums up a little bit of what we hope to accomplish.
And we could all repeat that in an elevator pitch, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
I
point
could
and
almost-
the
I
vision
mean, we
goes
hope to
further.
accomplish that, but also, yeah, the program itself. Sorry, division, we're not the program, but
Right.
we are the hands, cogs, the mighty cogs of the program.
I feel like we need it.
I really love the changes. That's great.
Good.
Okay. What about the core values? Would you all like to keep those? Would you want to, kind of wordsmith those a little bit?
Stories?
I really don't like youthful
I
culture.
don't either,
Youthful culture made me stumble.
Yeah, just culture.
because what is youthful?
We want
I don't know what demographics James has been
Trying
feeding
to
you.
talk
but we
about
got
the
old
colleges
people
and all the students that
Right,
are
but I
here.
don't- I
Yeah.
don't-
We have like one of the youngest median ages of any city in the state.
That's true.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of colleges.
Colleges.
Ah, that's
They
cheating.
all stay, they don't
The
leave.
way for-
Yeah.
Yeah, they stay, that's why we stay young.
Something else. Yeah, history.
I think that's also, an opportunity for the city to be like, yeah, we're creating deep connections for these students that are outside of their campuses through public art,
I like.
from my
this.
perspective.
I think that one sounds good.
On the support artists, I'm just really weird about using the same word more than once. So variety and various, could we change from artist with diverse experience levels inclusive of all?
So present a wide variety of high quality public art from artists with diverse experience levels, inclusive of all people and backgrounds.
Yes.
I think there's a bit of a problem when you say high quality and various experience levels.
Yeah.
So maybe something like meaningful public art from artists with various experience levels. Or would you say diverse.
So you're saying present a wide variety of meaningful public art from artists with diverse experience levels,
Yeah.
inclusive of all people and backgrounds.
Because it might, because high quality, there's gonna be a lot of weird kind of pushback in
Everyone
that,
has a
and
different
it's
opinion
not.
about high
But,
quality.
and then
Yeah.
we go to different experience levels.
Right, and that's kind of what we're aiming for more, but we want it, but whatever their experience level is, I think the quality we're looking for is that it makes some connection.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it goes
Just
back to
meaningful.
the, storytelling aspect of.
Yeah, I like that. I like that change.
So did we get that change?
Can you repeat it?
Repeat it.
sure, presents a
Wide variety
Wide
of
var-
meaningful.
wide variety of meaningful public art from artists with diverse experience levels, inclusive of all people and backgrounds. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Kind of tight.
All right.
Are we doing anything with youthful culture, or do you wanna keep, does
I
that
don't
sound?
like youthful.
Can we just strike youthful?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
take out youthful,
And then it's just culture of
Yeah,
Conway?
history, natural setting, and culture.
strike the youth.
I mean, I get where it came from, but also it feels,
I'm just gonna be left out of this.
New kid.
but you're baked into the culture of Conway.
That's true.
We've marginalized.
And how do you feel about the last one?
It's too long.
Yeah.
To the, where is that, Conway has.
I don't know about the investment in public art.
We
Through public
we can talk about creating opportunities for connection.
Yeah, that sounds,
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
create opportunities to connect residents to the assets Conway art, that's still,
why don't we just build awareness and enthusiasm for place by drawing
Through-
residents
Or
to the
connection.
existing assets?
Just look-
I like the connection word, those, in there somewhere that Amanda said.
Yeah.
So
Create connection.
build awareness and enthusiasm for place through
By connecting residents to,
Conway's assets.
And I would say
Yes,
one another,
existing-
like,
all Conway has to offer, I don't know, all assets is a weird
Yeah,
word.
assets
Yeah, I
and
don't- sounds thanky. And really, to me, the community, I know we wanna draw people to the idea of Conway, but to me, the community is the people, not
Yeah.
the assets.
To all Conway has to offer.
I feel like assets in place are probably you can conflate assets to place and emphasize place.
Yeah, I think place is the better one because assets seem to, it's a bit, what's that word, dehumanizing?
Right.
Whereas place
Yeah.
seems broader.
How about build awareness and enthusiasm for place by connecting residents to one another through an investment in public art?
hey, there you go.
Yes,
Well, yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Lightning.
What's your word per minute? Typing.
90,000.
What'd you say? What's my what?
What is your word per minute typing? It's pretty fast.
Oh, I don't know.
97.
It is fast. Okay. Would you all like me to read the vision, mission, and then the 3 core values to you before we move to the next slide?
Sure.
Okay. So for the vision, we envision a Conway where citizens can easily access public art, building upon existing works that create a catalog of varied pieces that tell inclusive and engaging stories.
Okay.
Is everyone nodding?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Mission. The Conway Public Art Program seeks to form meaningful connections between people and public art. And then the 3 core values are tell stories that are unique to the history, natural setting, and culture of Conway.
Yep.
We also have support artist, and that has changed to present a wide variety of meaningful public art from artists with diverse experience levels, inclusive of all people and backgrounds.
Meaningful, we missed meaningful in there. I thought there was meaningful.
Oh, she did, she did,
Okay.
yeah.
Been a long day.
I'll read it again.
No,
Present a wide variety of meaningful
Okay,
public
there it
art
is.
from artists with diverse experience levels, inclusive of all people and backgrounds.
You know, you can drink after the
and
meeting.
hearing.
Okay, let's go on
Great.
over there.
Sorry.
And then the last one is build community. And it's build awareness and enthusiasm for place by connecting residents to one another through an investment in public art.
Yes.
Investments.
Awesome. Okay, these are wonderful, way better than what I wrote originally, so thank you. And hopefully these are things that the community feels that they can take ownership over. All right. James, can you advance to the next? Perfect. Okay. So before we get to the ordinance, and we're going to show you kind of a red line copy of the ordinance. What we have proposed in the plan is to begin to manage the program a little bit differently, but in a way that provides you all, as well as staff, with a very consistent opportunity to provide input on what the public art program is doing, what it will do, and then basically to keep track of all the things that it has done. So we're proposing that an interdepartmental public art coordination committee be formed within existing city staff. So this committee will meet however often is needed. I believe that quarterly is the minimum frequency in which these meetings should happen. But this committee come together. Did someone ask a question?
No.
Oh, weird. Okay. This committee will come together from all different departments: planning, public works, transportation, parks, the mayor's office, if there are any like special projects that are coming up. And they will come together and identify opportunities for public art placement within any upcoming city projects. So parks might say, hey, I'm going for this grant. The grant is due in 3 months. I really think that we could put public art in this grant for these trails. What do y'all think? And then everyone on the committee is like, yeah, and I have money to create the matching funds for this and this project. And so right now, there's not a lot of conversation between staff. So this is really creating an opportunity for some cross-pollination within city structure to make public art be placed within multiple projects. That's the intention. And because that coordination committee understands how all of the different projects are funded within their departments and within the city, they're going to be coming to these meetings with that knowledge. They're bringing that information with them. So it's going to be a more natural flow and easier to plan for than saying, oh, I really wish we would have planned for public art in that plaza that you guys had budgeted for 3 years ago when there's no more money, 3 years later. And then eventually those meetings, they'll basically have minutes and then they'll be presented to you all, to the Public Art Advisory Committee, so that you understand kind of what's happening, what the city is intending, and eventually it's going to go into this public art update that we're going to talk about in just a moment. Any questions on the Public Art Coordination Committee? So I'm going to talk about you guys next.
This is what we talked about this several weeks ago, months ago. Oh, my word. But it's so that, I got you. Yeah, right? It is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Different people in the city so that
Different the city gets
so everyone's
together.
communicating and.
Yeah, and then that also should
It has
happen come budget time.
Now.
Right.
Yeah.
Great,
Love that.
great.
Okay. And then the Public Art Advisory Committee, which is you all, are going to review opportunities identified by the Coordination Committee. You're going to suggest potential projects for inclusion within the annual program update, which we also talked about, but I changed the name. I think I called it like an annual public art plan, but I'm calling it now an annual program update. And you all also are considering opportunities for the general fund allocated money that is in the current ordinance. And then you will be recommending approval to mayor and council of the annual program update. And the annual program update is really a document that is a work plan for the city for the upcoming year. And that program update will be an opportunity to share what the program has done in the year past and what they're looking forward to doing in the year coming. And so that'll be where the public art manager is able to say, hey, we've done all of this. Look how awesome it is. Check out all these photos from these people who have uploaded them to their social medias, or check out how this, third grade class interacted with the artist when they were installing their installation at this location. And council will get all those warm, fuzzy feelings. And then that'll be an opportunity to say, okay, and we did that last year. It was awesome. And now we're going to make it even better by doing these 4 or 5 projects in the coming year. And here's the date that's associated with them. Here is, a specific timeline as to how we're going to, release the RFQ and then solicit proposals. Here's how long we think it's going to take to get the project implemented. Here's the specific location. Here's where the funds are coming from. So this program update really provides a very detailed path forward for both you guys as the advisory committee, staff, and the elected officials to understand where the program's going and where money is going to be dedicated. And then finally, we have basically, we're calling the public art manager, which for now is James. But this person is super important because there is going to have to be a person or a group of people, James and Kyle, who will be working really hard to make sure that this plan, this annual program update, is followed. And, these meetings with the Interdepartmental Public Art Coordination Committee are happening. And the purpose of the manager is so that one person has all of the knowledge of the program and knows the inner workings of the policy and the processes. But it's also so that someone is keeping a consistent reminder on folks' calendar to keep these meetings going and to keep public art at the forefront of people's minds. It's our hope that the program grows so much and sees so much success that the city in the coming years will find value and potentially a new staff person to help manage the program. And if your collection grows significantly, that'll happen sooner rather than later.
Can we add?
So this public art manager, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that the manager is going to be releasing whatever the method is for a selection process for each project. They're going to be managing the implementation of each project. And then they will also be maintaining regular updates for each of the projects that are within the annual program update to you all during your monthly meetings, because I think it can get, especially when you're releasing RFQs and you're waiting for 45 days to get those, and then you had a selection committee, and then there's another 60 days for the concepts. It feels like it's not moving fast enough, but when really that work is happening, it's just nice to have someone who knows where you are in that process and can just say, here's where we are on all these projects.
Under public art manager, do y'all think it would be appropriate to add something about managing the grant process for the arts and then also the maintenance of the art pieces once they've been installed? Would that be under their realm as well?
So in the full plan text, there's actually a long description of what the public art manager would do. And it has maintain the collection, conduct a biennial conservation report basically on the entire collection to understand what the condition of each piece is. And then that would get kind of tucked into their workflow, whatever the report said to do. So yes, in the description, that is all there. Yes.
And the grants would be under their realm as well?
It doesn't say grant. It says something like explore additional opportunities to fund and supplement the city's contribution to public art. So it means grants, but it's also like
Okay.
tucked into public works. Yes.
Are you talking about like Main Street?
Yeah, applying for grants, researching grants.
Yeah, some of them, we, like the Tiny Toads, we couldn't apply, because that funding was specifically for Main Street programs.
Right, but there are other grant programs out there that would apply just for, you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah,
So
and we, I mean,
Yeah.
that's something with our, that will be, I think, a component that will always kind of be distributed, because we've got our grants administrator.
Oh, okay, I forgot about that. Gotcha.
So when's the grants administrator coming to our meetings, so we can talk about upcoming grants opportunities that we have to get into our annual program update. I think we should have a standing meeting like every November with the grants administrator.
Or, with the interdepartmental public art coordination.
I would say, are they part of the PAC? So that the PAC can act on those recommendations?
We got, well, y'all are the PAC.
Right, but
There's
the PAC.
PACA. No, the Robbie would be in the PACA.
Sweet.
Okay. Any other questions here?
No.
Nope. Okay. James, could you pull up the second link I sent you? Perfect.
We're so documented right now. YouTube, we're on surveillance.
While James is getting that up, what we have done is taken the current ordinance and then redlined it so that we can kind of show what the changes are. And then when we get in the final plan to document, the redline copy of the ordinance is obviously not going to be there. It'll be the fresh ordinance that we have.
I just realized I can give you control of this.
Oh. Well, yeah. Let's.
Can you though?
I don't know. I can highlight in here though, so it's not a big deal.
It's decided I can't give control.
Oh.
It won't click on it.
That's their,
Oh.
that's
Okay.
good.
All right.
A shared
Okay, James, if you'll
symbol.
scroll down to section 1. Okay, weird. I wonder if you can't see. You know what? I bet you can't see the red line copy.
Oh, yeah.
So I will tell you
Here we
what
go.
the changes are.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Does that show?
Not on my screen. I still see you with it says Zoom, and then you're kind of hovered over 125%.
Oh, it might just be
You're on a
paused.
delay.
We can see the updated version now.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll just kind of talk through it and maybe highlight. So you'll see section 1 is just updating language in section 1, which has nothing to do with any content. We did in section 2, you'll see we removed theaters and we added community facilities.
All right.
There's no reason to have theaters in there. Oh, perfect. Now I can see the screen.
Is there an art going into the new
You'll
community
also,
center? Is there any art going into the new
Sorry?
community center? There's a pool. It's a new construction by the city. Seems like a golden opportunity that we might have wasted by not having the PACA together.
I have been told that I think that is something being discussed, yeah.
All right. Rumors and whispers. I like it.
Balls of power.
You'll also notice throughout the document that we've changed where it did say Public Art Committee, we've added advisory. So a lot of the red lines on your side are that. We also, we didn't change the composition of the committee, meaning that we didn't add any additional members, but we did change that there be 4 members with expertise in the art field rather than 3, and then 3 members of the community at large.
Is that advisable? Why did you do that? Why did you change that?
We changed that so that the makeup of the commission, or excuse me, the committee would be more focused with professionals who had backgrounds in the arts rather than community members. So that if you did have selection panels, and for instance, if the committee did run a selection panel, it would be my recommendation that you don't have people who don't have any experience making decisions about public art on any kind of panel that are the majority.
I like it. I appreciate that. Are we gonna be able to find that many people in Conway? I just don't know. That have enough of a background?
So when I say like background in the field of art, so it could be graphic designer, somebody in marketing, someone who is an artist by trade or an artist in the evening after their real job in IT, somebody from one of the colleges, somebody who's a gallery director, maybe they're a historian, maybe they're a historic preservationist who are very focused on architecture. Maybe it's an architecture historian.
Yeah, there's only 2 art historians in Conway, and I'm one of them.
He's sitting right.
But no, I think you covered it. I think there's somebody marketing or graphic arts or something that I think it'll be enough.
Right, and maybe this is, if I'm the only one that feels this way, then totally ignore this. Instead of saying art professor or art professionals, could we say arts professor? Because when I see the word art, I automatically think like visual art, whereas the arts encompasses the variety of arts. Am I the only one that bothers? If not, I mean, totally.
No, I'm in favor of adding this.
Yeah.
So just arts
Totally
professor.
fine. Yeah.
That might include like a dance professor?
I mean, that's
Maybe
public
that's the
art,
arts,
and that
yeah.
can become public
And
art.
then we have the ID carrier who paints after work, so,
Yeah.
Dances after work.
right?
Legally.
Okay. All right. We also changed where it says you're serving 4-year terms to become 2-year terms, and any subsequent terms shall require reappointment by the mayor. And I believe that is just to match all of the other committees that exist within the city. That's what all of their terms are. We also changed just some, like cleaned up some language. It was talking about being staffed by city planning, but we talked about being staffed by the public art manager or their designee from the planning and development department who will manage all administration of the program itself.
It's kind of same for now, but hopefully different in the future.
We would love that.
James is like, please.
And then the section 4, this is also what you saw last time where it just lays out exactly what you're.
Just add the extra.
So, and now that I'm reading that, I need to change this because we changed the title of this.
That's the type of number thing.
Okay. These are all the same things that you saw last time, but it's just removing the responsibilities that were in the existing ordinance to G through N. Do you want me to read those, or are you okay with just seeing them? Everyone saw them last time.
Yeah, okay.
It's good.
Okay. And then we added a significant amount of information to the responsibility of the city, because this is really, I think, where there was a lot of confusion, not some, a lot. And so the city will be responsible for preparing and providing approval by city council, the public art program update, and the yearly appropriations for public art. City staff will be maintaining all records for the committee. They're responsible for managing all contracts and agreements with any artists or consultants. They are coordinating the Public Art Advisory Committee to ascertain advice on any matter pertaining to public art, including preparing and presenting the program update to City Council, artist selection juries and processes, commission and placement of artwork, and public art programming. And then we removed the dedication of all public art as public space as required with any, we felt that was included in the above responsibilities of the city. And then we left F and G.
So my question is, until the city hires a person, is James responsible for A through G? Like who, so is that all on your plate?
James and Kyle.
Yeah,
James
I mean,
and
it's,
Kyle, okay.
it would be distributed,
Okay,
so.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, I think, again, one of the reasons it's important for that intercoordination committee, because kind of the model of the way in which we worked on the raise grant up to this point, it's been various departments. I mean, we have met on a weekly basis and we're almost to the finish line in the application. But that has involved discussion, and so, you know, there are things where, for instance, our grant administrator will run all those things and coordinate all those things that wouldn't necessarily be done, but it's a central coordination position where there's one throat to choke in that instance. So.
And then finally, we actually, depending on how the funding conversation goes and all the funding mechanisms that we are preparing for council to consider when they consider the public art plan for adoption, we're going to create a separate ordinance for that. So we're moving funding completely out of this ordinance and putting it in another one.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Good question.
That means this, I mean, the purpose of this ordinance is really about the creation of the committee and the roles of the committee.
Okay.
There are, for instance, having in there that designates a certain amount of funding that is problematic because it has to be done in the ordinance it has to be done through the budget every year. Because as you know, sometimes if it doesn't get done via that budget process, then that money just goes somewhere else. And so
Then we bring the ordinance down on those people.
Good one.
so the intent is to have a separate ordinance that basically deals with establishing the intent.
How come that ordinance is less problematic than the ordinance that this ordinance is ordinating?
In terms of it being problematic, it's more about establishing an intent to do those certain things. Because when you're doing it on an annual basis, we're saying that the intent is to allocate this. Because that is effectively what this ordinance has done, has said, our intent is to do this.
Right.
And so having that in a separate, clean ordinance so that we don't have any other committee ordinances that delineate funding for something. That is the reason why.
But in the new one, we're not gonna know how much we'll get every year.
Will it say a number
say
or
a
just
number?
say?
Again, that's kind of the purpose of that annual program update
Yeah.
is
Okay,
to identify
we're gonna
funding
say the number.
opportunities. We're gonna go and ask for funding to do X, Y, and Z.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I said the idea being that there'll be more groundwork on the front end to have a year's worth of programming cited out for the year ahead, but we would get approval on the front end and into the annual budget. So there's potential for more than 30,000.
Okay.
Every year.
So I mean, is 30,000 going to be like sort of our ballpark
But
or a
there's-
baseline or something?
Yeah. There's also the potential for nothing.
There's also the potential for
Well, yeah.
nothing.
The
yeah, yeah.
intention is for 30,000 baseline.
Yeah. I guess what I'm asking is, you said it was problematic because it's in an ordinance that says we're gonna do this. And then you're saying, so we're gonna pull it out, we're gonna put it in a separate ordinance. That's
More
Is there
likely
no-
a resolution.
a resolution, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was questioning is if it's a matter of wording change, why couldn't we just change the wording and keep it all in one spot? Here's
And
the
so
ordinance.
The intent is,
Right.
Resolutions establish intent and policy. Ordinances establish law.
Ah, so we're pulling this out and we're putting it into
a
not an
resolution.
ordinance, but a resolution.
Yeah.
For intent of funding paired with this ordinance. Sorry.
Now, there may be,
Oh,
that last sentence there that you see, that may be something that is in an ordinance, but again,
What is CIP?
capital improvements funding.
Yeah, it's also our intention that the existing funding remain and the other funding mechanisms we're proposing are in addition to.
So the 1% for art, is that what that is basically?
yeah, between 1% and 2%
Okay, right.
from the capital improvement budget.
So the resolution and the new ordinance will be presented at the same time to
Yeah, we can do it.
the city council or whatever, okay.
Sorry, just to qualify the last part about the capital projects, those are maintenance things. Is that in there because of maintenance for art pieces?
No,
That's
we, if we're doing road overlays, that wouldn't necessarily call for the inclusion of art.
why is that in there under this though? I'm just lost with that the purple statement there.
We had talked
So-
about putting it in here, but this is kind of what we're intending to pull out and put into separate documents.
I guess what I'm asking is, what does that with regular road maintenance, underground infrastructure, and underground utility projects have to do with this committee at all?
Oh, it
Because
doesn't say
it's talking about funding, except
all capital projects qualify except
It's saying
for.
it's not.
So any
Gotcha,
new
okay.
construction,
Okay.
basically.
Taking it out of.
Besides
see.
city,
Oh, there's a misspelling there.
Oh, accept instead of expect, okay, yes,
Oh, hey.
yes.
Okay,
That's a huge difference, yeah, okay.
got it.
But you can't expect road
Yeah,
maintenance,
yeah.
underground infrastructure, and utility projects.
I expect, I was trying to make that fit somehow. Thank
so
you.
if there's a new park,
That's why we have to set eyes.
And 1% will
there's
go.
consideration for including.
Okay.
Got
So it could be loosely related somehow.
If there's a project like, Donaghy, and we set aside funding for landscaping, then we might also set aside
Good.
funding for.
We want that. We definitely want that.
yes.
And anything else that we can get.
What's 1% of 2 million?
More than
20,000?
30,000.
No, I don't know. I just made that up. It's either 20,000 or 200,000.
Yeah, it's one of those.
No, 200,000 would be 20%. There's a reason I went into the humanities.
Alexa, what is 1% of?
It's 20.
Thank you, Alexa.
200,000 is a $10 million, it's a 2% of $10 million budget.
No.
Gotcha. Look at that math.
Thank
I'm
you.
good at numbers.
Anyway,
Okay.
still fuzzy on the whole. Let's pull it out, put it in another ordinance maybe, and that's cool to dedicate funding. But so long as we anticipate that this will not end up with multiple years like this year and last year, where we are not budgeted for it all, and then can't do anything, then perfect.
Just to remind you, the adoption of a funding ordinance does not automatically mean that
Right.
you get funding immediately.
Yes.
So this, I don't know how far in advance CIP projects are planned for, James. It's probably 2 years, 3 years. Those have already been budgeted for. So
Yeah.
likely, those projects that this would be applicable to won't start, I would say, 2024, maybe even 2025. James, you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's accurate.
So,
No, that's fine. I just, what I don't want to happen in the room is then we suddenly go, oh yes, this ordinance sounds great, and then it's a way, it turns out to be less funding or less available or harder to get funding for future projects. And so y'all say this is the better way to go and it cleans things up and it makes it much easier. And also for things like the voluntary property tax thing that we weren't getting for multiple years and now we have access to. If we're saying that this will help clean up things like that and keep us very clear on what budgetary lines we're supposed to do and we can aim for that 30,000 with our annual review process, cool.
great. Okay. Any other questions on the ordinance? Nope.
Looks great.
It's the most beautiful ordinance I've ever seen.
Good. So, James, I'm not sure if the workshop that we had planned was marketed, but we don't have any signups for tomorrow.
We have 0? Great.
I saw
It was.
something, yeah.
Okay, and that's okay if there are no signups. At least we tried.
Supposed to be on that.
But I have a thought on that. If you want to go ahead and skip past that slide,
And it's for the
and it just has next steps kind of listed. So while James is getting that all fixed, our next steps are that we are meeting with the steering committee on April 5th. And we're going to be making kind of a similar presentation to today, but not as technical as what we share with all of you. But it'll be, hey, here's the mission, vision, and then there's 3 core values that you all shared and developed today. And then we are also going to share kind of what some of the strategies are to basically implement the program and operationalize the program, and then what specific projects we've developed in order to kind of have some early wins in the program itself. So that'll be presented to them on April 5th. After April 5th, we are going to have all of the comments from them, and all these changes are going to be made to the document, and staff is going to have that document for review by April 8th. And then the week of April 18th, we are going to have a fully designed document for staff review. And then we are on track to present to City Council and the Planning Commission sometime the week of May 16th in person, which is exciting.
Wow.
Nice, good.
Do we get to see it sometime in between then and any of those dates?
Yeah, we can.
Cool.
So like,
Can we brainstorm?
can we pick a meeting? Just because we had some questions too, I know that were like, oh yeah, that's in the full ordinance.
Oh, no, I was wanting to look at the fun stuff, like the
Oh.
new projects and
Yeah.
brainstorm ideas and that kind of stuff.
I mean, that stuff too, yeah. Is there a standing meeting where that makes sense in the workflow of these next steps?
Let's see.
I'm a planner, man, I wanna see dates and meeting invites and put it on the calendar.
Is that presentation something that this committee could attend or?
Yeah, it's a public hearing.
Okay,
So I mean, it's meant to be, that's kind of a broad presentation with that.
Yeah, but where?
City Hall.
No.
Maybe this area.
Such skepticism. There's questioning of everything. I feel.
We've been an eyes closed committee in the past, trying to be eyes open, man.
So it's, we're talking the meeting, let's see. It's typically 3rd Wednesday, correct?
Correct.
so the 18th, May 18th.
of April.
So that's actually, yeah, well, we didn't wanna do it on a church night to get folks there, even though it's. I would probably say if we can, move the April meeting to either the 20th or the 27th, and then have a review there.
That's sound like a plan for folks? I see calendars open.
So move the April 18th to when? Is that what it-
The April 13th meeting to either the 20th or the 27th.
I cannot do the 20th, but y'all can carry on without me, obviously.
April meeting.
27th would be good. Are you on the steering committee?
Yes.
Is there anybody?
Fun, Kim.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we shoot for the 27th.
27th's better for me.
The 27th?
Yep. Same time, just different day.
So,
Yeah,
so that meeting would be, who would be in that meeting?
that would be the public art.
So just us, so when it says design document first, oh, okay,
So we can look at that.
But that would give us a chance to put final size on it before it goes towards city council and everything.
Or if y'all wanna shoot for May the 4th, be with you.
I think by bylaws and ordinance and resolution or whatever else, we need to put that to a vote. Any motions to move our next meeting to April 27th? So that we can do the thing that we
So
just talked
moved.
about? Awesome. Anyone second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed? Sweet. Next meeting date, April 27th. Same time, same room.
Somebody's gonna send out this fabulous little reminder. Oh, you do that.
I've been forgetting. I live by the meeting invites, calendar, it's on my calendar.
Yeah.
When is it? The
Thanks, Kyle.
27th?
27th.
I would say, did we just get one?
so do we know about the joint city council date? It says week of May 16th, do we know for sure the date, or is that still up in the air?
Let's see here. I would probably say May 19th.
May 19th.
At what time do we, or is that up in the air?
Oh, I'll be back on the 9th.
I would say 6.
Okay,
It's Thursday.
May 19th?
I think so. You're having them both at the same time?
Hmm?
You're having them both at the same time, city council and planning?
When?
May
On the
19th?
May 19th?
Yeah, it's our formal public hearing. So what basically it'll be the large public presentation, but we will specifically invite city council
I don't have a tux I can wear.
and planning commission for that. But essentially to adopt it as part of an appendix to the comprehensive plan, we need to have
Public hearing.
public hearing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I got
The public seating is the next week.
The steering committee meeting on April the 5th, that's at 10 a.m.? Is that right? Because if it is, I'm not gonna be able to make that.
Yes, 10 to 11:30.
I won't be, I had a
Oh, okay.
that trumps, unfortunately, in this meeting. It was set a year ago.
sure.
It's central business
What's more
improvement.
important?
Central business improvement.
I get you.
I'm also out the whole week of the 16th, so.
Great. Do you have any other questions for us?
no, it's looking good.
We wanna see some pretty pictures.
I know. There's also gonna be some really great maps I'm excited about, so
Yeah.
Good map.
should be awesome.
This is the architect.
We have gotten the roundabouts mapped.
Good.
Good. Good.
And Kyle's also coordinating with Conway Corp on the utility data.
Perfect. Okay, well, wonderful. I'm really looking forward to your review of the plan at the end of April. And for those who are going to be on the steering committee meeting, I look forward to seeing you on the 5th. And I'm very excited about the plan. I think James and Kyle are as well.
Yep.
I'll be supposed to say that you're excited, but I think you're excited. I'm excited. I think it's a great plan, and I'm excited to show it to all of you here in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sweet, y'all. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you next month.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks so much for indulging us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Can we wear costumes to the presentation?
He was gonna dress up as Roundabout, he was gonna dress up as Dust Up.
Ooh, that's, no. Can't joke about that.
Rod volunteers for that.
No. I'm gonna wear a bow tie so they know that I'm an important art person.
There you go. Me too. All right, recognizing that we have, we've run along a little longer than our normal meetings. Want to run through the last little bits of this, but I think it should be quick. First and foremost, anti-graffiti coding and mural shield update from Kyle.
Yeah, so we purchased the anti-graffiti coating. The mural shield is still out of stock, so Felicia said she's going to try to order it as soon as possible. So the graffiti coating should hopefully be here in the next couple days. She already ordered it. There was a very high shipping cost for it, which I'll pull up and see. It was very high.
Yeah, it's a hazardous material thing. It was included in the proposal though.
So we paid $164 for shipping for a grand total of $814.12 for 10 gallons.
Where'd it come from?
This was the website, the vendor website that you would recommend.
For 10 gallons, that's.
Yeah,
Several,
it was,
yeah.
it was
Several
650 and then 164.
$50-something per one per hazardous material fee. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we can't apply that until we get the actual mural
And who
shield.
knows how long that's gonna be.
So that's great. Reason it's gonna keep showing up on the agenda, as soon as we get that in, we need to contact the artists to get that repair process started so that we don't throw up the mural shield and then forever preserve the defacement as opposed to the art that's supposed to be there. So cool. Well, thank you, Kyle.
Yep.
We'll keep our fingers crossed that they make more of it.
And so
Open projects, anything we need to update for Tiny Toes or Poetry Project?
Kyle's waiting on me to review the Tiny Toads contract, and on poetry, we're gonna go next week over to Parks.
We should be on board, we are on board for everything to start the submission process April 1st. The Creative Institute student has the poster ready, I'm just waiting to get that final file, so when I get that, I will share that with y'all so y'all can spread the word. The Blackbird website is updated to have a page for that and has the submission process on the website, so it should be super easy to do that. James, you had mentioned at one point that maybe we might be able to get some of the posters and flyers printed through the city, is that an option or no?
In terms of, what I would say, so you're talking about before we fund it?
Yeah.
Seems like a no.
Like, I wanna put some flyers out to the schools and then also like 11 by 17 posters kind of
I
around.
can do posters. Send me the
Okay.
PDFs.
We can definitely print flyers.
Okay, so I will send some posters to Rod and flyers to James, okay.
How many? How many? 5,000. No more than 5,000.
I mean, like probably 25 posters, 25, 30 posters, and then flyers. I mean, we probably would just do maybe 10 or 20 per school, just, I don't know. Or maybe we might count the number of teachers in that school.
I
and
say
just
we
do
can.
number of
Hendrix
teachers.
does that. I'm just realizing they do it and it's cheap because it's in-house.
Okay,
But when I ask him to do it for somebody else, I just don't know.
Okay.
I've never done it. But
Well,
I think
if
it'll be okay.
it's cheaper than getting it done at a local print store, then that would still be a
When we talk print, like posters, what kind of material are you talking about?
I mean, like the ones that people put in the windows downtown, it's like a little thicker than regular paper.
They don't
Kinda
even stand up to
like
the
cardstock.
elements.
Yes, yeah.
Just some, yeah.
Events.
Yeah, they're the cheap ones, cheap
And then the
posters.
flyers are just regular paper. I just wanna make sure we get them to the schools who can pass them out to their teachers.
We can
So,
definitely do flyers.
Okay.
I'll have to see technically about posters.
okay, I will try to get a number for flyers for you. So everything is good to go, ready to get started. So once that gets going, if y'all could just help as much as possible by sharing the flyers on your social media, sharing all the posts,
Awesome. You know, any questions or things we need to cover for some of that old business? Awesome. Hey, fun disappointing news. We cannot move Dust Up. It is the preference of the city that it has a replacement to go. I don't know if there's an appeals process or anything else we can do.
Sabotage?
Red light, Rod, red light.
Maybe just somebody steal
So,
a car.
I don't know. But our city friends have inquired, and it is the preference of the office of the mayor that we have something ready to replace it. So we are back to our Indiana Jones situation.
Yeah.
Where, yes. But hey, we know that place is primed for art. Used to having things in there, so hopefully we can come up with a project that will work there, and then also come up with a place to shuffle Dust Up off to. But keep that,
Art graveyard in the sky.
I do think by the Red Bridge would be a great place for it, you know?
I do too.
A
I
pit of
agree.
visual, and it starts the whole art trail idea that we were kind of jazzed about.
Yeah.
You know, that can be our initial test case.
Yeah.
And with the new trails we're coming in, what a better proposition to say we have that. So what I'm saying is there are lots of benefits and lots of positives, just waiting for that other project to go in to replace it. Unless someone makes an impassioned plea for us on the city level and can change some minds, we will leave that
I'm
until we
not a
have some
voter.
replacements.
Can we ask an artist to design something?
Put out an RFQ, I mean, that's the only way.
I mean, we would have to put, it would have to be in a whole
I
full-fledged
think it's
project.
certainly a good thing to put on the list for the
Well, isn't
I
that?
know,
I
I
know,
have a
annual
line, I
art
have a
plan.
line on it.
Yeah, we can't do it now.
art program.
We gotta wait.
I'm gonna wait till the new one. So the guy who's our temp 3D is now gonna be a more permanent, he's gonna have full-time employment at the college. And he's been working on a clever concept, but he's kind of drowning in stuff. He also seemed to think it was gonna be pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but if he could do it, if he ever get around to doing it, it would just be really interesting, kinetic piece that would spin in the wind and be kind of dramatic. And have this interesting, because he was working with the guy who's the physics lab tech. And so working on these really interesting mathematical proportionally relationship geometric forms and.
Yeah. So a relevant question, if we know we're putting that up for this next year's projects to have a piece replaced there, does that count as having a replacement piece? And we can work on moving Dust Up out of the way and to a new location in the interim, because that will cost a bare minimum based on the limited budget we have currently. But it also is us acting on basically public feedback from the last round of Facebook stuff. I was saying if we have the intent to put an art piece there in our next round of funding,
Yeah, when's the,
what counts as we need a replacement?
Or do they want it there until like the day before the new piece starts going in?
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know, I'm not sure.
Because it is, we have the deacquisition thing, we have some of the stuff in the new ordinance piece coming up. It's been roundly agreed upon that that is not the proper home for Dust Up. And if we have that intent and we know we're gonna replace it within the next year, or start the process for replacing it as one of our cardinal projects for 2023, and it'll show up on the budgetary period, I'm assuming in November. When do we set the budget for city stuff?
The budget process will start August.
Well, shoot.
Typically adopted in late November, December.
So they'll see the project show up in our recommendation in August. Like, I'm just saying, that gives us just about enough time to get it out in this year, have a clean slate for whatever RFQ we're gonna put on, because we'll wanna post pictures, we won't have people go there and not see another piece of artwork and go, I'm replacing this or working over that.
it could be kind of interesting to, if we had, if there was some sort of a poster there that said art coming.
Hey,
It's a little, get a little excitement.
I was gonna say, run up, a little publicity.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's my question for that, is what is the definition of needs to have a replacement? because we're ready and
So do
primed
we
for
need to
that.
make a recommendation that we,
Yeah, sign a letter, do a resolution through
Ask for
here.
money, or how does that?
cry?
I'll check and see when that would,
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean,
what do you want? I don't know.
do we,
You keep laughing at
It'd be good,
everything.
if, to keep a little pressure on, so to speak, if that's the right way
Yeah,
of it,
if
that's.
we just find if knowing that we have the intent to replace the artwork in the next fiscal year, if that is enough to start the not insignificant process of moving an artwork, because we do want to clear the space for the next artist to come through.
Sure.
Sweet. We just didn't know if we need to get our intent down and like, here's our public art committee recommendation, or if you've got enough there in your notes to be able to take it and present that. Because it is something I think we all feel we want to push forward. It's,
Yeah.
how do we make those recommendations in the proper official way?
Cool.
Sweet.
Good.
All right, that's the only other thing. We'll find out more about Dust Up at our next meeting. Thank you all for presenting that and seeing if that meets the qualifications of what they're looking for. Anybody have anything else for us for the good of the council before we dismiss?
I think so.
I gotta.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I say we adjourn. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.